Hey guys, it's Panda, and I'm going to be doing a probably long flip through if my camera will record the whole thing, hopefully. Today, it's been requested by a few people to do Cyberpunk art book. So since I've had these for a while, and I haven't really done a flip through of them yet, I thought I would sit down and try to do these tonight. These are the two art books that I have of Cyberpunk, and I don't know for sure if there's any other ones out there besides the regular version of this, which has a completely different cover. And this one came in the collector's edition game box. So I'm not sure if you could get this anywhere else before that. I'm sure you can get it on eBay now by itself. This one I got on Amazon when it first came out, and it came with like a bunch of stickers, a poster, postcards, stuff like that. But I really love this box, and also the pages and everything. The cover on this one is a lot better than the original regular version of it. And then I also have this, I also have a book that's like a really extensive game guide, so that's something I'm probably not going to do a flip through of, but that's another Cyberpunk book that I have that goes over the game and everything in it. And then I also have this deck of cards that I got a while ago, probably during my Cyberpunk obsession, that has a bunch of really cool artwork on it. So I was gonna go through these and show you guys, because I don't think there's really anybody showing these off on YouTube, and they're really cool. It says Cyberpunk 01 on there, and it says AceLion, sorry. AceLion is a company that makes some really cool decks of cards, and this is just a deck of regular cards that has artwork on it. So I think I'm going to go through this first, but let me set aside some of these first. It's probably going to take me a while to flip through these books because they're pretty thick. I may or may not have to split the video up. We'll see how it goes. So, let me just zoom in a little bit more so you guys can actually see. Oops, sorry. Hopefully, I have it on the highest resolution, I believe, recording, so when I zoom in like that, you guys can still see pretty well. This has like circuitry, metallic circuitry on the back. You can't really see that, but it's got like this nice rainbow finish, mirror finish on it. And I thought I already cleaned this off, but okay. Then we've got this really cool slip cover here that's got like some neat street art on it. AceLion logo right there. Okay, and this is what the back of the cards looks like. Then we've got a regular title card. And here's some of the artwork already. We've got a Joker set. There's it's very like Terrata meets Warcraft, in my opinion. World of Warcraft with Terrata spin on it, kind of. You know, I'm actually going to stand up to make sure you guys can see these really well. I have all my lights on, but it's not real bright in here, so apologies for that. Oh, I like this one. That's pretty cool. It reminds me of some YouTubers that I like. The TV head with the cat ears. I actually got these on eBay. I'm not for sure if you can still find them, like, really easily or not, but that's where I got them if you guys want to look for them. Robot finger. I think we're just about at the end here. And that's about it for those. I will organize these later. Go through them anyway. Slippery little buggers. Alrighty. Let's put these away. Okay, let me zoom back out now that I remembered. Okay, hopefully. Yeah, I think that's good. I think you guys can still see. I always get nervous when I have to mess with my camera because it's all finicky and might possibly stop my recording that I can't have to start all over on, so it's a little dusty. It's a nice metal, brushed metal finish on here. It's got the whole rugged stickers and everything on it. And the book cover is like, feels like it's got like a layer of spray paint or something on it. And then these are like indented a little bit with a matte finish. And then it's got like really dark gunmetal metallic page edges, as you can see. Like dark black silvery color. Just make sure it's centered before I start. I used to have some overseas imported magazines that were Cyberpunk focused, but I never got around to flipping through them before I got rid of them. I didn't really do flip videos back then either, so. Some of this art is a little suspicious because, like, as far as did they make it for the art book or not, because this is like really pixelated. It looks pretty rough. It looks like a really zoomed in picture. Like it might have been a smaller picture in a different book before or something. I'm sort of depressed that I never got to play through this game. I'm probably just going to give up and watch a playthrough of it. Like, I haven't done that yet because I didn't want to spoil it, but it's obviously not going to... I'd rather watch it and know what it's like and what it's about than just miss out on it completely. It's funny how obsessed I was with everything about Cyberpunk when I first found out about this game, because I loved Cyberpunk stuff before, but I didn't know there was such a world, such a massive, like, world that was created with all these cool characters and artwork in them. So I always just stuck with, like, movies and stuff before, but now it's like I have this collection of books, and I like collect all the music videos and all that stuff on my computer. If they made a movie, I would be so psyched about that, and I'd probably, get the merch for that and everything and watch that as much as possible. But then again, I'm always worried about them making, expanding something like that I love this much, because it could be ruined. I don't know. Another thing that I don't really get, besides the hate on Avatar, which I don't really know why everybody hated Avatar so much for so long. They're starting to come around now, because the people who were too young to or didn't care when the first one came out, or weren't born yet, are, got on the hate train because it was popular to hate it. And now that they've seen the second one in the theater, they're like coming around to it. But besides Avatar, there was like movies that I really liked, like Alita, Battle Angel, and Tomorrowland, and what's it called? That VR movie that was based on the book that everybody hated on for some reason. That had like all the Easter eggs in it for all the different games and movies that were geeky and inspired. But I loved that movie. I loved all these movies that people just shit all over because it wasn't as good as they thought it would be, or they had way too high expectations. But I loved them. Like, I love that kind of stuff where you can, especially if it has to do with like VR. One of the first sci-fi CGI movies I really fell in love with was Final Fantasy Spirits Within, which was way back in like 2000, 2001, that I started getting into like sci-fi, cyberpunk, CGI related movies, and have just been in love with it ever since. And then there's like all these things online that people are selling and getting into, like for cosplay and stuff. I love props. I love prop cyberpunk stuff, but it's so expensive I could never like afford it. Like, they have a yellow jacket that looks just like the one that is in the Cyberpunk Edge Runners show that David wears, and it's literally like spot on, perfect for, and you can get it in any size, but it's like $150. Like, I'd love to have that, or I'd love to have a black and yellow one, or something purple and yellow or something like that. But they're just too expensive. Like, I'm lucky if I can get one of the Chinese knockoff hoodies that are printed like those props are. So they're just like regular cheap zip up hoodies, but they've got like the print of the jacket on them, so it looks kind of cool. But every time I've ordered one of those, which I did for Cyberpunk, I did for Squid Game. I ordered a turquoise hoodie that had the Squid Game logo on it and the number of my favorite character. And I also did one more hoodie that I'd ordered from some other show, but none of them fit. I always ordered the largest one they had from Japan, which is like, their sizes are just completely whack. And I normally wear an X large or maybe a 2X if I really want it baggy, but I ordered like a 5 or whatever X, and it was just so tight and I couldn't zip it up, and it was so uncomfortable. So I've never been able to wear them, but I'd love to have like a hoodie from Cyberpunk. There's some neat ones that you can get. The worst part is when I look for hoodies that have really cool prints on them, they're mostly pullover hoodies, and I can't wear pullover hoodies because they get too overheated in them, and I usually have to have it unzipped. So I just get zip up hoodies, and I guess those aren't really popular right now, so it's hard to find in zip-up hoodie in your favorite, like, movie or show or whatever that looks any good. But this is my favorite character in Cyberpunk, Judy. Besides, there's an animated character that's not really in Edge Runners, but she is an animated Cyberpunk character that they made a whole music video out of. And her name's Sasha, and it's a really awesome music video, and I think she's probably my favorite character overall. But after I watch the playthrough of this, I'll probably get back to loving Judy again. But I wish I could have played it and seen what it was like to play with her in the game and stuff. I love this kind of design, interior design and stuff from the Cyberpunk style. Like, that's probably what I would like for my place to look like if I had one like that. Lots of sexual ads in there. You'll probably see a lot of artwork in the other book that's similar to what's in here, but they are two different books, I believe. And this one had a regular version that you can get for 15 or 20 bucks on eBay. I'm not for sure how much this one is on eBay, but the regular version of it that doesn't come with a case is a lot cheaper. I got this one on Amazon when it was brand new for, I think, $35, something like that, maybe $40. But they dropped in price pretty quick too. I kind of wish they would have put out an art book for Stray. I'm surprised there wasn't any art books or any kind of, like, even like a pamphlet or anything that came with the game. It just came with a couple of cards that had like scenery on them. It didn't really have any art like most games do. I really wish they'd had an art book. I would have totally bought the shit out of that. Or, you know, Edge Runners didn't really have an art book either. Even though it's not a game, it is an anime, so it should have a lot of artwork that could be made into a book, you would think. Because I would have loved that too, but... I know that this Cyberpunk universe, cinematic universe, or whatever you want to call it, used to be an RPG, a tabletop RPG game, and it had like a whole bunch of campaigns and books that went with it. I really wish that we would have got my dad and I and my step siblings all played D&D type RPG for a long time when I was younger. From like, I don't even know when, like 8 or 9 years old until I was like 16. We played every so often at the dining table. We would just play an RPG campaign, and I wish we would have gotten into or known about the Cyberpunk one, because I think it was around the same time that I was playing that was popular. But we were just into the fantasy D&D, you know, Lord of the Rings type of stuff at the time, so. I love this kind of art too, this kind of city, grungy city art. This is kind of like the Hollywood Hills version of Cyberpunk City. Corpo Plaza. This is dystopian as fuck right here. They've got these like giant fish tanks that are floating above the street so you can actually see what you're getting. And you can like tell them which one you want them to pick out and like kill in front of you. That's so fucking messed up. And it looks nasty too. This is the kind of city I would just love to be able to like live in rather than wonder what it's like to walk around in. I've only ever been in outside of Michigan like 6 times, and only twice I think was in a big city. So and I've never been to New York. I only went to LA once for a wish trip, and then I went to Chicago, but I've never been out other than that. I've never been in a big city. I'd love to go to New York and see what New York is like. Go to like San Francisco. And also go back to LA again, and before, California is completely screwed with climate change. I'd like to go see it again. Probably not gonna happen though. So yeah, like flying cargo ship. Australia's growing need for plastic. Yeah, that's what we need, more plastic. Let's not replace it with what we were going to have before plastic was pushed to the forefront. We were going to have hemp. Hemp was going to be used to make almost everything that we use plastic for, because it is usable for that. But then they decided that, the plastic corporations decided that they were going to pay out the government to start having the government push and use plastic instead of hemp. So that's why our planet got fucked basically at that point, because everybody decided to use plastic instead of a biodegradable growing plant matter that we could have used. Yeah, look it up. It happened in the government about 80, 100 years ago. They decided to use plastic, and we were basically screwed from then on. Because plastic is probably the first worst thing that, besides drilling for oil, but as far as what we consume and put back in the planet, like, I wish they would stop making so much plastic. It's hard to get. I like to get vitamin water. I drink vitamin water a lot, but it's so annoying that I have to basically buy a 6-pack every week and then throw away the bottles because they don't have returns on them. And I do recycle. I do put them in their own bag and recycle them, but if I don't happen to be able to access recycling like half the year, sometimes I just have to throw it away, but it's all in its own bag and it's clean and it's separated, so I'm hoping that it's easier for them to recycle at the plant. But I know they don't really bother with that. It's all bullshit. Like 90% of what you try to recycle doesn't actually get recycled, so it's kind of bullshit. Like, it's gonna be hopeless until we stop using plastic so much, because recycling it doesn't really work very much to help the situation. That's why we have to basically stop using so much of it and start using something that's more biodegradable. I mean, they already have the tech. It's just a matter of using it. And they already have things that you can put water in that are biodegradable, that you can plant or put in your garden as compost after you consume whatever's in it. Like, that kind of thing would be, the problem with that being that it would cost twice as much as whatever you're buying costs now, just to use that kind of material as the packaging. So that's the problem. Poor people wouldn't be able to afford it, and considering poor people make up like half the country, it's kind of hard to implement something like that unless you make sure poor people can afford it. Of course, if companies cared at all about the planet or about the future survival of the human race, they'd probably be like, well, we can eat the cost of switching to this material just to, save the planet. But why would they do that? Why would they do that? Here's the pot-bellied slums, or trailer trash or whatever you want to call it. That's what my some of my family is living in. It's kind of what I'm living in, although it's not really considered the slums because it's a bunch of older people, but it's literally the poorest part of the city I live in anyway. And my grandma lived in Trailer Park for a while before she moved basically into a nursing home, but yeah, I've lived in several different parts of town, different areas of class economy, whatever you want to call it. I definitely lived in the slums when I was in bigger city, my apartment in the bigger city. Which I wouldn't mind actually living in a crappy apartment if it was in a big city. It's better than a crappy apartment in a small town where there's nothing to do and no transportation out of town. It's kind of hard to get things done or go to doctor appointments when there's no way to get to them or whatever. But basically into characters and gangs right now. I like the Mox's logo better, and I like the characters, the way the characters look. They don't really show a heck of a lot of them on here. I'm going to have coming up in the next 2 weeks another big Doshinji haul, possibly my last one, and also a set of illustration books that I ordered, and hopefully, fingers crossed, a couple more art books that I'm waiting on or waiting to order if I can manage to squeeze the money out. I sold my Game of Thrones Blu-ray set because I sold my PlayStation, so I can't really watch it anymore. So, besides, I have it on my hard drive, but I wanted to have nice, high-quality Blu-ray set, and just there's no really any point in keeping it. If I am into art books now, I'm not really into collecting movies as much, and I'm not into Game of Thrones as much as I was before. I was into it a lot more in the season 6 and 7 of Game of Thrones than I was when the new show came out, because the new show was just too rushed, in my opinion. Like, there was too much squeezed into it. That's pretty much the end of that. This is the sheet that came with it that shows what I got. Postcards, poster. I think these were actually tattoos. Which, yeah, I hate when they do that, because it says a sheet of temporary tattoos, but you get 2 sheets. But I hate temporary tattoos because adults don't use those. Like, I'd much rather have stickers than temporary tattoos, a million times over. I'd rather have a sticker than a sheet of temporary tattoos. Because I'm just going to, like, stick it back in there and leave it because it's not going to be used. But I think I sold all that stuff in a big set of extra Cyberpunk stuff that I didn't care for or whatever. That's why those aren't in there anymore, but I just wanted the book anyway. I think I have the postcards on my decorative board over there somewhere, but on to the next one. Let me check my phone here. It's still recording. If I hurry, we might be able to make it. So this is the regular, or not the regular one, the one that was in the collector's box with the statue and the game and everything that came with it and everything. I unboxed that on my channel 2 years ago when I first got it, if you guys want to go back and see that. I unboxed the whole collector's edition Cyberpunk box. I'll try to remember to link to it in the description if I remember to when I upload this. This is a nice horizontal hardcover book. This is the official art book. I'm pretty sure the other one is also official, but I don't know. So this will probably have a lot of similar artwork in it, but it's gonna be, I think this one has more higher quality, like full page art in it. I'm probably also gonna end up selling my puzzles. I have 3 Cyberpunk puzzles, I think, that I never opened. And I also have the game guide book that I don't know, flip through. I don't know if I'll sell it or not because it's not really selling for much, but I want to hold on to as many books as I can because that's what I'm collecting right now. I don't want to get rid of them. I love their clothing styles in this. Like her pants and shoes. I know it's hard to see because I have to have it zoomed out enough to see the whole book, so it's kind of hard to see the little stuff in here, but you get the gist anyway. These are more like not concept art, but like not screenshots. The other book had a lot of screenshots. This is like oil painterly. Looks kind of like it was painted. So it's more like the art that they actually made before they made the game. This is what they wanted it to look like, basically. Okay. Not wanting to cooperate. There we go. We've got like little machines over here, terminals of some kind. Got another group of city dwellers, I guess. Fashion style. This guy's got a big pot leaf shirt on. Corpos again. Arasaka. If you guys really like this kind of art style and like don't mind the anime style that I'm also into, you guys would love the Cyberpunk anime series that's out on Netflix. I definitely recommend it. It's better than, like, I've heard by a lot of people that it's way better than the game as far as like what the way it looks and the storyline and just how cyberpunk it is or whatever. It's really cool. It's got a lot of cool characters in it. I wasn't into anime like whatsoever before that came out, and I only watched it because I didn't, because I was into Cyberpunk and I loved the series, the game and the, whatever, not series, but world. I kind of wish they would make, I don't know, because there's so many other shows out that are already Cyberpunk that are live action. I guess they kind of did it right with the anime because it got more people's attention, but I wish they would make like a movie, a live action movie or something. Seems like they just put so much fucking work into this game and into this world and the characters and the artwork for, like, what was it, 15 years or something before the game came out. It seems like they would want to make something else, like a movie or something more mainstream than an anime, because an anime, it might gather more new audience members, but it's not gonna, like, grab, you could grab a totally separate group of audience members for making like a blockbuster movie. This is one of my favorite pages right here. I love the, like, the pills and the stickers and the postcards. These are actually, this is a postcard that I actually got with my book. And then, or not my book, with the game. And I don't think this is one. But I did get another one of a city postcard. But I like these pictures. Those are cool. I like this kind of like montage type of artwork style too. And spray paint everywhere. It just looks really neat the way they laid this book out. Maelstrom. Arasaka airships. Little China style. Oh yeah, by the way, I had heard that I could get some cool Japanese art books on AliExpress. So I installed the app, which I have had before, a long time, like 3 years ago or so, when I ordered a shit ton of like stickers and pins and stuff. I installed AliExpress and I looked up some of the artists that I'm into, and there's actually an Aki Akane book on there that I've never seen before. I don't know if it's brand new or if it's just never been available in my country or whatever, but I ordered that today because it was only $24 with free shipping, and I believe it's the same size art book as like the RGB one I did last video. So I'm excited to get that, and I'll probably be doing a flip through of that along with the new Aki Akane Doshinjis that I ordered. I'm still waiting on those to get here. I'm hoping they don't get lost because I've already had one Doshinji package get lost. And that was with tracking. Like a bunch of the stuff I have ordered, like the one from AliExpress, don't have tracking. So it's just up in the air whether I'm going to get it or if it's going to get here at all, or if it does, it'll probably take 2 or 3 months or what. Like, I don't know when it'll get here, if it does. So I'm just kind of really hoping I get lucky with that one and it doesn't get lost. But there's like 3 other packages that I ordered on eBay that are being shipped from overseas with no tracking. So I'm like, I don't I'm so worried about it getting lost. I have to keep track of all my packages because I've had so insanely many get lost or stolen. Or, misdelivered and then nobody returns them to me. That's happened a few times. But it happens like 2 or 3 times a month. I have a package that I just don't get. It doesn't get to me. So it's very stressful if I can't keep track of them. Especially when my next Doshinji package is going to have 40 plus Doshinjis in it. And if that gets lost, then I might get a refund, but it's not like I can go back and buy every single one of those for the same price because it was auctions that I had to bid on. And the number of auctions that I've bid on that I wanted really bad and kept an eye on and bid as much as I could on, that I lost in the last like 30 seconds or whatever, was so annoying. That's why I usually tend to just go for the buy it now listings and only do auctions if there's no other choice. But this girl that's selling Doshinjis, she starts them all out at like $1 a piece, and then you know, I go through and see which ones are really cool, and I bid like $3 on each of them. And then if there's other bidders, I'll bid, you know, $5, $6, $7 on one, just because it's really cool and it has a lot of really cool artwork in it. But that adds up real quick, so I have to like stop doing that. Especially when it's artists like Mika Pikuzo or Aki Akane, or, you know, anybody who looks like Mika Pikuzo, basically. They go upwards of $10, $12, $15, and I just can't. Even when I bid $12 to $15 on some of the Mika ones, because they were like bigger than Doshinji's, they were like 50 pages or whatever, I still lost on those. So I'm just gonna basically give up on the expensive ones, because I can't ever win them. I think I've only ever won one out of like a dozen different ones that I've tried to bid on. So I just stick to the ones that nobody's fighting me over, that I can get for a couple dollars a piece. And I'm just gonna get Mika's actual art book, which you can get on eBay for $60, and it's got like 200 plus pages in it. So it's, to me, it's like obvious to just get that rather than the 20-30 page Doshinjis that are put out. Some of them are only like 10 pages. Like I've gotten a few, like you saw from John Hathaway that I did in the last one. It only had like 8 pages in it, and I'm like, well, I paid like $10 for this, because it doesn't say how many pages are in it when I bid on it. It just shows a few pictures. So I'm like, I can't believe I paid $10 for this. Or there's a couple I paid like more than $10 for, and they ended up having just a few pages in them, and that just kind of makes me mad. But I gotta try on some of the ones that I can't afford to buy otherwise, because they're listed by other sellers for like 20, 30, 40 bucks, and I don't know who the fuck's gonna pay that much for a dozen pages or less, but apparently they do. So I just have to, you know, stick to collecting the art books, I guess. And if I have a little extra money aside from that, maybe get a couple of them, because I can't keep bidding on just all the ones that look cool, even though I want to really bad. Like I haven't been this bad off with a collecting addiction in a long time. Like, other than Cyberpunk, which had limited merchandise to purchase, you know, I can't remember the last time I had something where I just wanted to buy everything I saw of it. Like, you know, it's not like I want to buy all the Doshinjis, because a lot of them are just sleazy and not worth looking at, don't really have anything decent in them. But as far as like the really bright, colorful, super, like, what do you call it? Super poppy manga style Doshinjis that have a lot of artwork in them, a lot of full page artwork, or intricate artwork, or artwork that has a lot of background detail, I like those. Anything that has motorcycles or bikes or headphones or helmets or gas masks or space suits or anything to do with space, that kind of thing. Futuristic stuff, dystopian stuff. That's the kind of thing I'm into with the anime artwork and the Japanese artwork. I was into Terada style artwork until I discovered all this like gargantuan world of pop manga style art that I never thought I'd get into, because I didn't really like anime before. But then again, it's weird, because when it comes to like video games, I only like to watch people play these like uber realistic ones, like the ones that look like real life, the ones that they don't. I mean, this is why I like Cyberpunk so much, is because everything looked so realistic. The tech and the storyline and the like action doesn't have to be realistic, but like the way it looks, the graphics, you know, the art style, that I like that to be as realistic as possible when it comes to video games. I don't like cartoony or pixelated art as far as video games go. I don't like PS1 style games. Those are way overdone. Like, it makes me irritated to see so many people I watch on YouTube just constantly putting out these PS1 style horror games that are literally cookie cutter duplicate games with just slightly different maps or slightly different characters or whatever. But I prefer like super realistic looking games like RPG, first person survival horror games or survival open world games like Days Gone or what's that one called? Not Dark Light. The one zombie one that just came out with the second game. I liked some of the Resident Evil ones. I liked Resident Evil 7, I believe. The one that was in the house, the Baker house. That was super realistic. The first person one that came out and got big because it was first person. It was such a different style for them. There's a lot of indie horror games that are just super realistic looking that are really, really, really good games, and I wish I could play them. But there's so many people that it's hard to find a Let's Player on YouTube that isn't trying to appeal to like kids themselves, because they want to have a bigger audience, so they like try to appeal to like younger viewers that are like 12 or younger. So they do all these like Roblox and Minecraft and whatever, these cartoony games, and I just kind of get annoyed by that because I wish they would play more for the adults who are watching them. It's not like we don't, need entertainment too. This kid's always wearing his VR headset. So I haven't been watching. I usually go back and watch like old videos from a lot of, especially CJU and IGP. I wish IGP would do more face cam gameplays, because he quit doing that years ago, and I wish he would do more of those, because that's the kind I like to watch them react to stuff, or feel like I'm actually watching them play and not just staring at the screen that they're playing on or whatever. I love the colors in this one. It's so pretty. That's the kind of style I would have in my room if I could. Minimalist with neon purple and blue and pink. Maelstrom are the gang that are most known for having the most body mods on them. That's why they all look like robots, because they go for like full body mod basically. I don't know very much about the race. I haven't heard much about them. This is like the Asian gang. I'm going to be doing a tour video soon also, because I'm working on finishing up my setup, cleaning it up again and getting it organized and stuff, because I moved my little bookshelf to put all my new art books on over by my floating wire cube shelf, so it looks a little nicer. And I'll have all my art books in one place and hopefully get rid of some of the junk over there. So it looks like I can do a tour video again soon, hopefully. I've got all my lights pretty much set up. Hopefully none of them die before I get to record. This is the people who go out, like the emergency response. NCPD. So we're pretty much done with this book almost. Hope you guys enjoyed the Cyberpunk, and I'll be doing my little daily calendar read through, hopefully ASMR style. Depends on how my voice is doing and if I feel like doing it or not, because I've never really done an ASMR style video before. I love ASMR. I love this gun. It's supposed to be a disposable gun. Budget slotomatic gun. It's funny. They have like vending machines for guns in this game, which wouldn't surprise me at all if that comes a thing one of these days soon, like in this country. Vending machines for guns, it wouldn't surprise me at all. Wouldn't surprise me if they already exist somewhere in the world, actually. I love the bike. I wish I could have a bike. It'd be so sweet. They've got such sexy looking cars, like, everywhere. I would hope there would be less cars in the future. Alrighty. That's pretty much it for that. Thank you guys for watching. If you have any other requests you want to see me unbox, let me know, and I will look into it and see if I can do something for you. If you want to see more of a certain genre, let me know. And I hope you guys are having a good week and staying warm and safe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.